In today's world of high-speed connection, text messaging, and social networking, we often find ourselves searching for information. There are millions of blogs on the internet. News, sports, politics, and tech. But I bring it all together for you and present it in a relentlessly unconventional fashion. My name is Zenny Abraham, and this is the Blog Report. It's time now for news. Hi everyone. Today, I got the news that Susan Boyle, the star of the show Britain's Got Talent, was admitted to a mental hospital for exhaustion and other emotional difficulties. I hit the ceiling because last week, just on the week before the final show held Saturday of Britain's Got Talent, all of a sudden, we hear stories of how Boyle is having a meltdown, that she's screaming and ranting at police. But then when we dig deeper, we learn that two journalists harassed her. In fact, they set out to deliberately harass her, to upset her. Why? I blame Britain's Got Talent's producers for all of this. They built her up, and then they allowed her to fall just when she had gotten them enough ratings. And I assert that BGT established this negative PR campaign deliberately right before her final performance to gain ratings, and then to have people tune in to see if she was going to melt down, and set up the possibility that she would get a negative audience vote and lose. But I also blame a good part of our Western culture. You know, the way some of us have reveled in her failure doesn't say anything good about Western society in the 21st century and everything bad. It's as if we're headed toward revelations with tribulations where people who believe in God and who are good are persecuted. Fortunately, the idea is that at some point they will rise again. Sad is the society that cannot celebrate a person's success. Listen to me. Susan Boyle is disabled. She has a learning disability. She was grieving from the loss of her mother, and was grieving from the loss of her mother when she achieved her great fortune after a Boffo performance, which you probably saw at some point over the past 2 months. Then we throw the celebrity at her, expect her to respond when people are harassing her, journalists are hanging out at her home all manner of the morning, noon, and night, and then saying inappropriate things to her. She's not, and has not been, coached to deal with this, and it's Britain's Got Talent's fault. So it comes as no surprise that Susan Boyle said, reportedly, "I hate this show." And Susan, I agree with you. I hate the way that they treated you. I'm glad that a probe has been established to look at how Britain's Got Talent handled you. Everything from the way the audience treated you from the start, which was terrible, the way the judges treated you from the start, which was even more terrible, to the way that judges like Piers Morgan said, "I'll take you on a date," and they do so, and Simon Cowell embraces you, and I contend they allowed this to happen. They knew that this was happening to you, that you were getting all this attention, and also they knew the negatives that came from it. They've been around. They could have said, look, get her in a safe house, get her some protection, and make sure that she is right for the final show. They didn't do that. Boyle's brother Jerry was right. She should have got out 2 weeks after her performance, her initial performance, because then, I'll bet you, Britain's Got Talent would have said, look, we'll pay you to come back because you are our ratings. And they would have been right. But now, we have a situation where Boyle is in the worst shape of her life. Even though she's achieved this good fortune, she is paying a price that she didn't ask to pay, and no one should ask to pay. You, if you are a good person, should want to see everyone's success. You should not just want it for yourself. I love it when people smile. I love to see kids smile. I love to see adults smile. I love to see people happy. I do not like it when people are harmed by others who are jealous of their success. We call them the haters. If you're one of those people out there, you need to change. It's a shame that what happened to Susan Boyle was played out on a world stage. And I hope that we come to a point We don't allow this to happen to people anymore, and we work to allow people to get the success that they deserve in life. After all, the Beatles were right. All we need is love.